I'm Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog. Today what I want to share with you this is a checklist that I came up with. I think if you Google the whole internet, you will only find me at the end of that trail. As far as what are the 5 reasons your child misbehaves. My son is 5 years old now, which means I've had a lot of time to teach myself how to become a better parent. And one of the easiest things it is to do is to assume that your child's misbehaving. When actually, there's a 5-point checklist that your child expects you to already know about. That your child wants you to proactively, mentally already have ready to check that list off proactively. Let's go through that list. These are things your child will not come out and just tell you that they need. So here they are. Number 1, if you think your child is misbehaving, the very first thing you should do is to see if your child is actually just hungry or expecting a meal. You know, for my son, he goes to pre-K during the day. So if it's on the weekend and it's close to 12, he's hyper, he's misbehaving and on doing all this stuff. Well, it's because at his school he eats closer to around 11. So he's used to that structure of eating earlier. And so he could be sensitive, he could be hyper, but either way, he's hungry and he's expecting me to give him food. Now, if I were to say, "Are you hungry?" He may say no. He doesn't realize he's hungry, but he expects me to know that as his parent, that he's actually hungry and he needs that food ready for him. So that's number 1. Number 2, the number 2 reason your child is misbehaving is because they're tired. Obviously, as adults, no one has to tell us, "Hey, you're tired, go take a nap." And again, if you ask your child, "Are you tired?" they're going to say no, of course. So what do? You make sure that to the best of your ability, that you get them to the same nap schedule daily and the same nighttime schedule as well. Again, don't leave it up to them. Don't ask them. Just send them to bed at the same time. That's what they're expecting and needing. They're needing that rest. Probably more so than you, if you can imagine that. So number 2, your kid is tired. Don't be fooled by the fact they've suddenly got more energy or anything like that. They're tired. They need a nap during the day and they need one at night. And if for any reason your own schedule as the parent throws that off, that's your fault. If you were to keep them up for some reason and then they start misbehaving, I think that's on you because you threw off their schedule and they're a kid and they don't know any better. So that's what I'm going to say for number 2. Number 3, the number 3 reason that your child is misbehaving is because actually they're bored. They need you to spend some time with them. Well, not even that. They need you to provide some kind of activity for them. They may not be lonely. They may just be bored and they need you to provide some kind of game or craft. Often they can work independently if they just have something to keep them occupied aside from a TV or a computer, something like that. They want to actually use their brain and use their hands and do something creative. So number 3 is that they're bored. Number 4, that's where I kind of got ahead of myself a moment ago. Number 4 is your child is actually feeling lonely. They need some companionship. So I know that even yesterday I came home, I was talking to my wife about work, we were talking for 15 minutes, and then my son starts misbehaving, he's jumping around, and I realized, you know what, I haven't hardly paid him as much attention as I could have because my wife and I have been talking, and that's a good thing, but he was needing attention, he was needing someone to hang out with him. So was he misbehaving? He was just needing attention, and that's part of the checklist. So I owed him that, and I stopped talking to my wife, and I started talking to him, and then suddenly he's behaving again. Number 5, if all else fails, your child may just simply be sick. Maybe they're having some kind of stomach issue or they have some kind of cold. They're sick. To whatever degree that means, they're sick. And no matter what you do, they're not going to feel well. So make sure your kid's not sick. Now, the reason I have this 5-point checklist is this is something I have taught myself over the years. I always intended to be a parent that spanked my child. I always intended that with all confidence. But then when I became a parent, I realized so many of these things were preventable. And I would actually feel wrong if I were to strike my son simply because he was hungry or tired or lonely or bored or sick and I didn't proactively provide for him. So that made me think, I can't do this. I can't punish him for something that I have to be proactive to do. He's never going to come out and say these things to me, but I figured them out about him. It's a 5-step formula that so far has been successful. It's been working for me. Now, yes, I just said I don't believe in spanking my kid. Now, what you do, that's your business. It's none of my concern. But as far as what I do instead of spanking, I guess I need to make another video for that, or you could just simply Google it. It's all over the internet. But I don't spank my child, but I do discipline him. With that being said, before the discipline first comes me trying to prevent him misbehaving. By again, one more time, and that's the end of the video. What are the 5 reasons your child misbehaves? Let's memorize them. Number 1, your child is hungry. Number 2, your child is tired. Number 3, your child is bored. Number 4, your child is lonely. And number 5, your child is sick. Those are the 5 reasons your child misbehaves. Thanks for watching my video. This is Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog.